right now. Black Star on the movie. We up here with my man Choke. No joke. Director, film editor, you name it, he done did it. From there to there, top to bottom. He's uncovered the realm. My man is in the building. Good to see you, good brother. Thanks for taking a good time on us right now to let us get it in. Want to thank Black Star for giving us the opportunity to rock and roll right now. Let's jump into it. Y'all know how we do it, swag. It's nothing new. Roc-a-Fella, Jay, Dame, the squad, the film man right here behind the scene, the guy who shot everything, the guy who holds the truth to the secrets that we all want to know. What's good with you, brother?
Nothing, man. I'm chilling. You know, what up, y'all? It's Choke, no joke. Producer, director, cinematographer, editor of television, film, video. Right now, we in one of the last of the black-owned businesses, Black Star Video in Harlem on 128th Street in Lenox Ave. Y'all want to get y'all DVDs, y'all magazines, you know what I'm saying, y'all music. You come here, no bootlegs, all official.
What's the address? 128th in Lenox?
Yeah, between 127th and 128th on Lenox Ave.
Exactly.
On the uptown side. On
the uptown side. Y'all know what that means. Black Star moving, baby. Live and direct. Let's jump into it, man, and just get direct, man. Roc-a-Fella, Dame, Jay. What happened, man? Like, we all saw a movement of some powerful cats get together, Brooklyn, Harlem, whatever they from, and actually create a movement that touched the whole world, man. What happened?
Dynasty died, man. That's what happened.
Woo!
Divide and conquer. Ego. Women. You know. That's what happens.
Listen, you know, we all talk about women. You know, that's sometimes most of our men's weakness right now. When you say women, now one of the main women that come to my mind was Aaliyah. I remember she had some Dylans. I don't know if you guys remember Jay and Dame. I don't know if they were dating her or trying to get at her, but did Aaliyah have any effect to the beginning of the ending?
I mean, being that female is not here to defend herself, I'm not gonna get into that. But
right.
You watch the movie Death of a Dynasty, and you know you can kind of put it together right there
and see the story of it right there.
Yeah, you see the story right there.
Was Dame a bit of an ego tripper, man?
Yeah, everybody knows Dame's an egotistical maniac. You know what I'm saying? So. Ego, like I said, ego, that's part of the reason why things fell, you know.
As things began to go on, what happened? Did Dame just think that Jay wasn't learning, or did he think that Jay was incapable of making particular business moves?
I mean, as far as the Roc-a-Fella business, Roc-a-Fella Records, Roc-a-Wear, Armadale, all the other, other companies. I mean, Dame ran the day-to-day business. Right. There's no secret about that. Jay-Z ran Jay-Z's business.
Which was what?
Jay-Z. Dame had a lot of, you know, hands-on with Jay-Z stuff too. But as far as the day-to-day business, if it was Roc-a-Fella and dealing with all the artists and putting out the music, that was Dame. If it was Roc-a-Wear and it was checking out the samples, improving all that, traveling to London and stuff to, you know, go around the world, seeing different styles, to put Roc-a-Wear together to make it what it was, that was Dame.
That was all Dame.
You know what I'm saying? If an artist had a problem, they called Dame.
Dame.
You know what I'm saying? From my time at Roc-a-Fella, from 2002, 1 up to about 2005, Jay-Z never came to the office one time.
Really?
Not one time.
Dame was the man.
Right. Dame was the man for the day-to-day operations. Right. Dame is the one that made it, that conglomerate. Jay-Z image, and you know, his image and name helped elevate it. Right. But as far as, you know, the business earnings, you know, I mean, the day-to-day business, if you went to the office or you called the office, you wasn't calling to speak to Jay. Right. You was dealing with Dame. Everybody knows that. That's no secret.
No, everybody knows that. Uptown has swagger. Undeniable. Dipset came in. You know, Cameron became heavy. The Diplomats. What was that transition like?
I mean, I think in the beginning of it, it was all good. As you can see, Jay did songs with Cam on his first album, Welcome to New York joint, with him and Jewels. Then, you know, somewhere it went sour. You know, Jay stole the H to the Izzo beat from them, you know, that Kanye did for them.
What?
Yeah, I mean, it's no secret. I mean,
I didn't know it. And maybe y'all knew, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he took the H to the Izzo beat, and maybe that probably was the spark of it going sour. And talking about making Cam vice president. And it was the Dipset anthem with Cam and Joel saying 2 more for Cam for taking over the Roc. So little stuff like that started to cause tension. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know, eventually, you know, Jay started responding in some of his songs.
Right.
You know, the joint he did with Beanie Siegel, Once Again It's On. That was like a shot at Dipset. Jay had the joints on the S. Carter mixtape called Rockstar. That, you know, he was shooting at them. So
we kind of got to take it back to Dame. You know, he had his entourage with him. Correct me if I'm wrong, but Dipset seemed to be Dame's power movement at that time. Was it not? Or?
Yeah, well, what Dame was doing at that time was, I mean, he knew eventually Jay was going to retire at some point.
Okay.
You know, like Jay was, you know, he always said he was retiring since the first album.
Since the first album.
So, you know, as it, you know, the label started to grow and get bigger. Right. So that it went, you know, if Jay decided to leave and went to fall, Dame started building, you know, a conglomerate. You know what I'm saying? He started, you know, building a team, which was not only Dipset, you know, you had State Property. Right. Jay had, you know,
a big influence in that.
Yeah, he brought in, you know, some of those dudes too. Right. You know, you had, you know, then they started bringing in Nori, Old Dirty Bastard, M.O.P. Right. You know, he started bringing, you know, all the free agents.
Twisted, all of those cats.
Twisted, that never happened.
That never happened.
Craig Calvin wasn't coming off of Twisted.
Correct. Here, Swag DVD heard it first. Twisted was never there.
Nah, he was never there. They ain't put a chain on him. You know what I'm saying? And it gave people the impression that he was down. You know what I'm saying? But it was kind of a pimp move. Right. It was, you know, it was more of the perception. If, you know, somebody see him with the chain and they think Twisted's down with the movie. Right. You know, so he was never contractually signed to Roc-a-Fella. But, you know, he was an honorary member by him giving him a chain. Right. You know what I'm saying? Which is a smart move. Because you thought he was down.
I thought he was down.
Right, well,
yeah, I thought he was down.
Yeah, Nori, M.O.P., Dipset, State Property. Right. Everybody else was signed.
Right. Now, who brought State Prop in? Did Jay bring those guys in or Dame brought them in?
A dude from Philly brought them to Jay. Okay. And, you know, he brought 1 or 2 of them, and then, you know, the rest of them started coming on, you know, under that.
It was a bit of a hearsay that Jay was kind of biting a little bit of their style a little bit here and there. You think that was true?
Took from them, he took. If you listen to it and you listen to these guys, you could hear the influence. If you was a Jay fan before, there was a State Property. And then when State Property came into the fold, you know what I'm saying, you can see where he borrowed from.
Talking about that, Jay's influence and his power that he's at right now, we can talk Illuminati, but before we get to that or the Masonry thing about that whole talk, do you think that Jay had Dame blackball, or was that an industry blackballing?
It was, I mean, I'm sure he has some influence. Right. You know, him just stepping away from Dame is enough. For people to say stop, they don't have to deal with him no more. Right. Once Jay stepped away, it was like, oh, now we ain't got to deal with you. But, you know, one time I seen Leo Cohen, and I was like, you know, I was letting him know that, you know, I used to shoot for Dame or whatever, and I shot that conference room footage. Right. And he said, yeah, and I shut him down. So he takes credit for shutting Dame down.
Well, I mean, I mean, not to get too far off, but Leo didn't like Dame?
No, they didn't like each other.
Anyway, why do you, I mean, just Dame's cockiness, huh?
Yeah, I mean, just how Dame was carrying himself. You know, you get, how much can you tolerate somebody yelling at you and putting you on blast like that? Right. You know, that's why, you know, they was able to pull a divide and conquer. You know, they tried it years before, and Jay was like, nah, I can't do that.
Who tried?
Leo. Dame was very business savvy. Dame was smart. So any guy, you know, any people in the industry, you know, whether it's music, whether it's film, you know, whether it's television, you know, these corporate people don't want to deal with an intelligent black man. So if you're dealing with a corrupt business,
these people don't want to do what?
They don't want to deal with an intelligent, smart black man. You know, so if
just one more time for the camera.
Yeah, so if you have smarts and you're dealing with a corrupt business and they're not going to allow you to rip them off and they can't get over on you, then they're going to be intimidated by you. And that's where a lot of the intimidation came.
Right.
Because the business is so corrupt and they do so much undermined, devious stuff that, you know what I'm saying, every time they try to pull something on Dame, he's on it.
He's on it.
You know what I'm saying? And if you look at any of my last days of the Roc footage, he's just checking them.
Just on top of it.
You know, so